What is up, YouTube? Galladite74 here, bringing you this week's Mega Evolution of the Week, yet again on a Saturday. I want to get this up on a Friday or Saturday, but it always ends up being a Saturday, so too bad for that, and this is going to be up pretty late, so I apologize for that. But today's Mega, or this week's Mega, is going to be my favorite counterpart, Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is a really strong, powerful fairy type. I think it's probably the best fairy type in the game, aside from Xerneas and Mega Mawile, depending on what you're using it for. But I really like Mega Gardevoir. Its shiny is really cool. It's, I think, my top 5 favorite shiny right there is Mega Gardevoir. Even better than Mega Galladite, I have to say, shiny. And it's really good in the anime with Diantha. It's really strong. And it's just a really hard hitter in general. But there's not really much else to say about Mega Gardevoir. We're just going to get right into its typing. Mega Gardevoir is a Psychic Fairy typing. It's weak to Poison, Ghost, and Steel. Prior to Gen 6, it was only weak to Ghost of those 3 at least. And it resists Fighting and Psychic by a lot. Well, at least it resists Fighting by a lot. So that's good to note. It's got the immunity to Dragon, which is really helpful. You can switch in on Dragon types fine. It can take it with its Fairy typing and hit back with a Fairy move. So that's good with its typing. And Poison, Steel, and Ghost aren't even that common. Well, Steel's starting to become common, but yeah, its weaknesses are definitely not that bad. Going on to its base stats are really good actually. It's got 125 special attack, regular Gardevoir, which is really good. And it's got 115 special defense, like Galladite, can take a special defensive hit. I know Ghost types are very special attack, so it can definitely take a Ghost type move for the most part, and some Poison type moves too. 80 speed's meh, just like Galladite, kind of suffers. It might need a Choice Scarf. It's kind of weird to Scarf a Gardevoir, but it's a thought. It's always a thought. 65's on the attack and defense, and 68 on the HP. Not really going to be using that too much. Its defense is meh. It's not really something to write home about. But that special attack is really what we're all looking at. When it Mega Evolves, it gains some good stats. It gains 40 in special attack, which is really good, having a 165 special attack. It gains 20 in special defense, attack, and speed. Now, in special defense is really good, because now it can really take a special defensive hit. Those Ghost type attacks won't be knocking you out unless it's a really powerful move like a Mega Gengar. But besides that, and a couple other things, you really won't be going down. Its speed is at the 100 tier, which is way better than 80. 101 would have been good, but it does outspeed some of those mid to 90s to early 90s speeds, which can be really helpful. It gains 20 in attack, which is, to be honest, kind of useless. If that 20 went into defense, that'd be amazing, but its defense is still pretty lacking. But it can be a fast special sweeper. 165 special attack is nothing to laugh at. It's a really good stat to have, and you can hit opponents hard with it. Alright, going on to how I use it. Its Mega Gardevoir, its ability is Pixelate. Pixelate turns normal type moves into fairy type moves, and then it gives it stab and 30% boost, power boost, which is really strong. And its item is a Gardevoir, its Mega Stone. So yeah, speaking of Pixelate, my set I run is Thunderbolt, Protect, Hyper Voice, and Psychic. Yeah, 3 attacks and a Protect. I tend to do that a lot, but it's not that bad. Hyper Voice is that normal type move. If you use Pixelate, it turns into a fairy type move. Gets stabbed, gets all that power. It's the most powerful Hyper Voice in the game, I think, if I'm correct at least. It's really strong. It's definitely your best hitting move unless it's getting resisted. That's what Psychic's there for. It's other stab move. And Thunderbolt's for like the quad super effective hits, like on water flying types. That's what Thunderbolt's there for. But yeah, Hyper Voice is definitely your go-to. 252 special attack and speed BVs like usual. I run a speed timid nature, which is a good nature to have, because since it's 100 speed, you might want to get more out of that speed, since it's just average speed. It's great special attack, so you don't really need to invest too much in it, especially with all the boosting you're already doing with it. So that's why I run Timid. Other moves it can run, if you don't like the Pixelate idea, Moonblast is definitely your go-to fairy type move. It's a really good move. And since it's very specially bulky, if there's a special attacker, you can set up Calm Minds and substitutes, and a bunch of other things, Thunderwave and Will-O-Wisp for some status. It gets Taunt, which is really good too, so they don't set up on you. And it's Destiny Bond, I think that's kind of overlooked. Destiny Bond is something that Mega Gardevoir does get, and you can use that to your advantage if your opponent isn't ready for it. Other special moves being Shadow Ball and Energy Ball. It's got Focus Blast too, but that's Focus Blast. Run your own risk. Psyshock. Hyper Beam's not usually that good of a move since it's recharge, but That's a strong Hyper Beam. If you're looking for just trade one for one, Hyper Beam's your go-to as well. And it just gets a couple of little other moves like Dazzling Gleam, Charge Beam. But yeah, that's how I run Gardevoir. Facts about Gardevoir, it's the Embrace Pokemon. It was introduced in the 3rd generation. It was Galladite's special counterpart. Of course, I like Galladite more, but Gardevoir is still good too. I'm not going to take any sunshine away from Gardevoir, because Gardevoir is an amazing Pokemon. Its other abilities are Synchronize and Trace. I actually use Gardevoir for synchronizing for abilities in the wild. It also gets Telepathy, so if you want to have a doubles regular Gardevoir, that's always an option too. It gained the Fairy typing in 6th gen. Yeah, it's really helpful out. It really helps it out. It gets that Dragon immunity, my words. And Bug and Dark is now not super effective. I know it gains Poison and Steel, but I think that's a good trade-off personally. And of course, Gardevoir can be male to trigger anybody. Yeah, Gardevoir can be a guy, so sorry fan art. Fan art's on the internet. But I'm just gonna get right into this first battle here. It wasn't that good of a battle, but the second battle was way better. So we have a Medicham lead. That Pokemon, Medicham's not a big fan of, but it's alright. So I start off with my Staraptor. They're actually gonna like withdraw right away, and they're gonna send out Gyarados, which is fine. They're gonna get the Intimidate off, which is not that good, but I went for the Brave Bird because I wasn't actually expecting a switch off the Medicham. So this is still gonna do really hit hard because I'm actually rocking a Choice Banded Staraptor. So basically, just the Intimidate just negated that Choice Band, and just regular Staraptor Brave Bird does a load of damage. So it's Reckless ability too, that does boosts it as well. Got critical hit, didn't even matter. But Gyarados goes down. I take a little bit more recoil damage, and this is where things start to go south. Yeah, Caracosta. So since I was banded, I couldn't use Close Combat because I was running Close Combat on this set. So I had to switch out. I went into Empoleon because I know Empoleon is really good at taking hits. It was going for the Shell Smash, which I was really scared about. Caracosta is really slow, so I was kind of hoping Staraptor can come in later and outspeed it. But I know Empoleon is not outspeeding this thing. And it actually went for Stone Edge, which really shocked me. I was thinking it would just use Earthquake or something like that, but Stone Edge does over half, considering I'm a Steel type. But I go for the Toxic, because this is the Rest Sleep Talker with Whirlpool and Toxic, so I actually didn't really have anything to hit this thing besides Toxic and Whirlpool. But Whirlpool's only going to trap it in when I'm alive, so there's no point of going for it. I can just use Toxic, so it puts it on a timer. So they're going to go for Stone Edge. Of course it hits for the second time. And down goes Empoleon. Kind of hoping to survive that, but the chances were very low. So now I'm going to send in Gardevoir. I know regular Gardevoir was not going to outspeed this thing. I was kind of hoping Mega Gardevoir would. Mega Gardevoir is actually my fastest mon on the team. So I had to Mega Evolve here. I had to go for Protect just to get my speed up. To get a little bit of toxic damage as well. I wasn't sure to go for Hyper Voice or Thunderbolt because I know Hyper Voice would probably do more, but Thunderbolt has a chance to paralyze Caracosta, and that would be really good. So Caracosta does take a little bit more toxic damage, which is good for me. And this was the ultimate moment, and of course I was slower, so GG basically unless they miss. Stone Edge absolutely annihilates Gardevoir, because like I said earlier, Gardevoir doesn't gain any defense while Mega Evolving, so it can't make use of taking physical hits. So this Caracosta actually had a Citrus Berry, which definitely sealed the deal for my team. And regardless, I couldn't even kill this thing. They went for Waterfall, just so Stone Edge wouldn't miss. If they had, what's the move if I locked myself into Close Combat, I would have lost anyway because they had a Medicham, and Medicham was quad resistant to that, so I probably would have lost anyway. But getting into the second battle now, this battle was way better. I start off with Staraptor, same Pokemon, same lead, blah blah blah. They actually sent out Rhyperior, right? Alright, so first turn I decided to use Close Combat, so that's Close Combat is awesome. So one shot's Rhyperior, probably thinking why, it was critical hit. Yeah, Rhyperior's got mad defense and HP, so I was actually kind of shocked myself not being stabbed Staraptor, but whatever. So they sent an Arcanine now. I didn't want to use Close Combat again, so I decided to switch out here. They didn't have Intimidate. Does Arcanine get Intimidate? I'm actually having a huge brain fart about that right now, but I'll look that up later. I sent in Empoleon because I know Empoleon can take any hit. They go for the Flare Blitz, which is fine because they can take the recoil. I can take the hit. So I go for Whirlpool this turn after I get my leftovers recovery. because it can do some damage to this thing. And then I completely forgot Arcanine got close combat too, so down goes Empoleon, which is fine because I know Staraptor is faster, and Mega Gardevoir is going to be faster too, and its defenses are down now. So basically any hit will kind of kill it, basically. So I sent in Gardevoir here. I wanted to get my Mega Evolution off as fast as I possibly could. So I'm going to activate my Gardevoir, right? Mega Evolve. If I'm correct, I went for the Protect this turn. This was actually a pretty fast battle, to be honest. Gardevoir kind of just clean house. It was much better, but yeah, I go for Protect. They go for the Flare Blitz, which I was pretty much expecting. And I go for the Psychic, and I was kind of hoping it was going to one-shot it, because I know, since it was a sweeping Arcanine, bulky Arcanines can actually are viable, is really good, but it wasn't, so yeah. So the last Pokemon's Lucario. Not scared of this thing. Hyper Voice will basically annihilate it. It's actually Mega Lucario, which it does gain some special defense, I believe, when it Mega Evolves, but the speed wasn't there. I know that it's a Steel type, but it's also a Fighting type. So I'm going to use Hyper Voice and absolutely annihilate it. And GG to both people I faced. And yeah, that's the end of the battle.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, leave a like, follow me on Twitter, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it.